day. Now I've been smoking, you've been smoking, we've been smoking all day.
That's good. Tastes like weed. That's good. So, one of the reasons why, I'll get to that later. I was going to talk to you guys about a couple things. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that now. One of the reasons why I've taken some time off is because my wife actually had a hysterectomy. They didn't take her ovaries; they just took her uterus out and everything. And so I've been, helping out a lot more and taking care of her and such and everything. She's actually a rock star. She's doing really good on the mend, so good for her. But yeah, they took her uterus out, gave her the hysterectomy. That means that I can reverse my vasectomy now. I keep saying that, and people are like, why? And I'm like, because when Jessica Alba comes back, I need to be working with a fully loaded live ammunition clip, My wife, she calls Jessica Alba my hall pass. I'm like, no, bitch, you're my hall pass. I'm just with you until Jessica Alba comes back. Or until I decide to go back to her, But no, dude. I'm super proud of my wife. We have 4 kids, and she's a rock star. But, yeah, I would never reverse my vasectomy. And you want to know what? I'm going to put this baby to bed right now, because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about vasectomies. And if you've never gotten a vasectomy and you're thinking about getting a vasectomy, listen up, because I'm going to tell you about the greatest decision I ever made, and that was to get a vasectomy. And like, dude, a lot of guys are like, oh my God, do they chop your balls off? Do they chop your dick off? Is your sex drive fucking gone? It's like, no, I still have the sex drive of Pepe Le Pew, just minus the whole like sexual assault aspect of it. But I still have a sex drive. You still come. It's still white. It still looks, smells. I don't know about taste. I haven't never tasted my own brand, but it's the same thing. It just doesn't have little dudes swimming in it, But you don't lose. I didn't lose my sex drive or anything like that. They don't chop your balls off. They literally make an incision like right underneath of your balls, and they go in and they cut the fucking thing. It's called a vase. They cut the vase that takes your boys to your takes them around. Then they cauterize it, and that's pretty much the procedure. If you are planning on getting a vasectomy, go under. They will give you the option of having a local or general anesthesia. Go with general. I did a local. My dad was even like, you're a fucking braver guy than I am. And dude, see, ever since I was a kid, I'm going to have a hit of this properly sized nipple. OG. I had really bad ingrown toenails when I was a kid. And I'm guessing the lesson out of that is, like, I need more. I'm a big guy. I'm tall. I need more of the stuff that numbs you up than most people do. I found that out with ingrown toenails when I was 14. They had to stick one of my toes 12 times in one session just to numb it up properly to dig that fucking thing out of there. So when I went in there and he only put half that fucking needle in for my vasectomy, I was like, dude, you need to put that whole needle in. And he was like, oh, no, dude, I've done guys bigger than you and stuff. And I was just like, oh, dude, okay, but I'm not okay with this. And I tell you what, man, everything was fine until he hit that vase. And oh my God, dude, it was like somebody, like 1,000 people came and kicked me in the balls at once. Like immediately, if you ever been kicked in the balls, guys, you'll know, like, if you get kicked in the balls hard enough, you sweat, you can't fucking breathe. You almost, you feel like you're going to throw up sometimes, like all of those things. Anything you've ever felt when you got kicked in the balls, it all came rushing at me 1,000 times. And the guy's like, you need to settle down. Like, you need to put that whole fucking needle in me right now. And then he finally did, and everything was hunky-dory. Dumbass, fucking listen to me. Properly sized nipple, OG. But yeah, and your balls swell. Like mine, like probably to the size of like tennis balls, dude. Got to wear like a jock strap, not with a cup, but just like the jock strap part of it. Got to wear one of those to kind of keep them nice and held up there. And I was out for about 2 weeks, man. But before you have a vasectomy, you know, you got to be careful where you're dumping your clip, you know? Like you got to be careful, you know? Unless you're a Catholic, then it doesn't matter. But once you finally have a vasectomy, you don't have to be careful anymore, man. You're like Mr. Burns standing at the window of Springfield going, "Excellent." Release my hounds. Anywhere I want to. You know, it's great, dude. And when I got my vasectomy, my buddies were like, they got vasectomies too. No, we didn't do it all together or anything like that. We didn't go in there holding hands or, you know, anything. But no, I got my vasectomy and my buddies were like, dude, I don't want any kids anymore. I got enough fucking kids. Let's talk about vasectomies. And I said, okay. Well, I talked them into it. I told them, you know, go under. don't do a local. But my buddy Adam, who was on the show some time ago, he calls me up after he got his vasectomy. Hold on. He calls me up and he goes, dude, when you got done, did they have you like come back in like a month or two later and bring your specimen in? And I was like, yeah, you got to go in and you got to give them a sample of what's coming out now. And they have to make sure that your boys aren't swimming anymore, you know? And he was like, okay. I was like, did something happen? He was like, yeah. I was like, what? And he goes, well, you know, I brought in the receptacle and I brought it up to them and they told me that there wasn't enough in there. It's like, what do you say to something like that? I'm like, that's when your inner Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother comes out and you say, challenge accepted. You take that thing home and you take a couple days and you fill that fucker to the brim, man. Come in there with no lid, just spilling it all over the place. Here you go, fuckers. Is this enough? It's like getting some on them and everything. Oops. But yeah, dude. So yeah, guys who are looking at getting vasectomies, go under, make sure you have about 2 weeks off of work and, you know, but after that, dude, oh, it's so fucking sweet. Like, you know, I'm with my wife, so I don't have to worry about sexually transmitted diseases or anything like that, you know, but I don't have to wrap my fucking dick. I don't have to pull out anymore. Like, it's fucking amazing, dude. It's amazing. So yeah, I love it. I love my vasectomy. I wish that vasectomies and hysterectomies were easier for people to get, because there are people out there that for one reason or the other don't want to have kids. And I just think it's crap that, you know, that you can't go in, especially, you know, somebody who's like, you know, 24 and they've had 4 or 5 kids and shit like that. And they're just like, I want a hysterectomy or I want a vasectomy or something like that. And they're like, oh, you're still pretty young. And I got fed that crap by my doctor when I told him about it. I was like, hey, I really want a vasectomy. He's like, oh, you're only 24, man. You know, that's pretty young. And I was like, bro, I have 4 kids and the last 2 came at the same time. And he's like, oh, okay. Is Thursday okay? You know, like, so yeah, man, it's, you know, I'm not saying like use it for birth control or anything, but a lot of these procedures these days can be reversed if you want to have kids later. And let's, you know, population control, dude. Population control. That's all I have to say. Properly sized nipples.
Now I've been smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. I be smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. You be smoking, she be smoking, he be smoking all day. Blowing kush in they face from overseas to the USA. I got that blueberry, raspberry, and we keep that juicy fruit. If you want that 5-hour level, yeah.